We are spoiled with a lot of 7-seater MPVs in the market nowadays, and all new models have come left and right in recent years. But for Suzuki, they have stuck to their guns with the XL7 with an added mild hybrid system. So did Suzuki do enough to keep up with the rest of the competition? Let's find out. What's up guys, Jamil here from AutoIndustriya.com, and with me is the Suzuki XL7 Hybrid. Now it's been around in the market since 2020, but for 2024 it gets some sort of 12-volt mild hybrid assist thanks to an ISG. We'll tackle that in a few more, but first let's talk about where the XL7 nameplate came from. Now the XL7 started its life as a 7-seater variant and a long wheelbase version of the Grand Vitara. But in 2020, Suzuki decided to base the XL7 on the Ertiga platform, and that is what you see in this model right here. Now, the XL7 in its 2024 year model still looks relatively the same as it was in 2020, but Suzuki made it a point to make the XL7 look a bit different from the Ertiga where it is based from. As you can see here, the headlights are bigger, the grille, and it comes with, a lot of SUV styling with the front and rear over fenders, front and rear fenders, as well as a roof rack that's pretty functional. Now the XL7 also rolls on 16-inch wheels, and it has a ground clearance advantage over the Ertiga, since the XL7 has a ground clearance of 200mm. Now the side profile of the XL7 is largely carried over from the Ertiga hybrid, so you do get the large windows which make for excellent visibility all around. At the back, you also have the C-shaped taillights, the XL7 badge right here, the black tab over here, the over fenders down below, and you now have a hybrid badge on the right. Now in terms of cargo space, the XL7 hybrid has quite an impressive cargo hold considering its size. Now in this configuration, the XL7 measures 17 inches from here to there, 47 inches wide, and about 33 inches tall before you start scruffing the ceiling of the XL7. Now, if you want to fold down the third row seats, you just pull on this tab and the other one. So it's that easy. In this configuration, you can get up to 42 inches long and 39 inches wide of cargo space with the XL7. And now, if you need more space, you can still fold down the second row seats and you get up to 72 inches of cargo length. So that's about 6 feet. Pretty impressive for a car this size. So these things have largely been carried over from the 2020 model to the 2024 version of the XL7 Hybrid. But what's new is what's under the hood of the XL7 Hybrid. Let's check that out. Powering the XL7 is a 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine called the K15B. Now it produces 103 PS and 138 Newton-meters of torque, and it's paired to a 4-speed automatic driving the front wheels. But for 2024, the XL7 comes with mild hybrid assist thanks to 12-volt ISG. So what does the 12-volt ISG do? Basically, it's some sort of an alternator that charges up the 2 batteries on the XL7. Yep, that's right. There are 2 batteries for the XL7 Hybrid. That is the lead-acid battery, much like your conventional cars, and it comes with a lithium-ion battery that's located below the front seats of the XL7. So what the ISG does is it takes over powering the electronic components of the XL7 whenever you're stopped, so you don't consume much fuel. Fuel economy figures, we'll tackle that later on once we're driving, but first, let's check out the interior of the XL7 Hybrid. Suzuki has always been great at maximizing space in such a small package, and the XL7 is no different. I mean, I'm seated here at the third row and you have respectable headroom. And in the case that you're gonna be seated here at the third row, you get a nice amount of legroom, but you're gonna have to slide these second row seats forward for you to have a respectable knee room to play with. And one more thing about this is that the second row seats don't have a tumble function, so you're gonna have to slide this one forward for you to get out of the third row. But with that being said, the XL7 still has a decent sized cup holder and 12-volt power outlet here so you can charge your devices. Now in the case that you're not gonna use the third row seats, the second row seats can slide backwards so you can maximize the legroom on the XL7 second row. Like the third row, also has plenty of headroom in here. Now you also have a generous bottle holder on the side, and you have a 12-volt power outlet here. But unlike newer MPVs that already have a USB-A or USB-C charging ports, this can feel a bit outdated. Over here, you also have an armrest, but you can notice there's no cup holders unlike other of its competitors. So you have backseat pockets in here, but we do wish for a bit more, as other competitors we see they have tray tables over here as well as another pocket for your smartphone. So in this case, we see Suzuki can do better in terms of product planning with the Suzuki XL7. The driver's seat of the XL7 is a nice place to be in because you have large windows, so you have a commanding view of the road ahead, and you also have a pretty high driving position. Though we reckon it could use a bit of telescopic steering column, so you can adjust your driving position even more. Now, the dashboard itself has a nice dark wood panel over here with the silver accents. And they've also changed the speedometer. Though it's still analog, you now get blue-faced gauges unlike the previous one that comes in red. So blue meaning hybrid. So you still get a digital display in the middle that shows the engine and the motor for the mild hybrid system. Your average fuel economy, as also includes the driving time, the idle stop-start time, because it comes with EASS or the engine auto start-stop system. And you get a digital clock. Interestingly, it also comes with G motion sensors, the torque and power figures, acceleration and brake. So those are the things you see in sporty vehicles such as, sports cars. But interestingly, the XL7 has it. Now, the steering wheel itself also sporty. Flat bottom with silver accents. Here on the left, you have the controls for the infotainment system. It comes with regular cruise control, not the adaptive type. And it also has a hands-free function right over here. Now, the infotainment display is a 10-inch one with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And you also get a single-zone climate control system with the nice rotary knobs. Now, down below, you get a 12-volt power outlet and a USB charging port to also connect for smartphones. Now, down below, you also have, interestingly, it comes with cooled cup holders in the middle. So you can turn that thing off, turn the vents on and off. And this one has the Prindle shifter since it's a 4-speed automatic. So you still get a mechanical parking brake instead of the electronic parking brake type. And you also have an adjustable armrest, though I've noticed the space in here is quite small. Now here in front, we can also notice that Suzuki can do more in terms of product planning with the Suzuki XL7. We believe they can, they just have to execute it. Like for example, here at the sunshade, you can do with a ticket holder or a vanity mirror in here, no sunglass holders, and the rear view mirrors don't have a day and night function, so they can do better in that aspect of the XL7. But then again, the XL7 delivers when it comes to being a comfortable 7-seater. But now let's take out the XL7 for a spin so I can give you my driving impressions. Driving the XL7 around the city feels like driving a much bigger car. And I meant that in a good way because you have a very good visibility all around with these large windows. Now, the steering feel itself is a little bit on the heavy side, but that's because it gives you feedback on the road condition ahead. Now, the suspension itself, the XL7 will feel a little firm. It's a little on the firm side when you are driving solo like what I'm doing right now. But it tends to get better as you load it up with more passengers. If you're just driving in the city, the 1.5-liter engine of the Suzuki XL7 feels adequate, actually. And the 4-speed automatic has a short first gear, so the initial getaway, you'll have plenty of push. When you're coming from a stoplight or in stop-and-go traffic and you have to accelerate abruptly, then the XL7 will gladly oblige. Now, in terms of the quietness of the cabin, when you're just driving along, you don't hear much road noises. But when you're around the city traffic, you can hear outside noises inside the XL7. And that's probably because of the drawback of having much bigger windows. So the XL7, as you know it, comes with a mild hybrid assist with the 12-volt ISG. So where do you get the advantage of that mild hybrid system? Or from my experience, the 12-volt ISG works better when you're at a complete standstill or in heavy traffic because, the longer you're stopped in traffic, the longer the electric motor holds its own and prevents the engine from sipping fuel. So that's where you stretch the fuel savings that you'd get, unlike a full hybrid, that does some of the propulsion, the electric motor also gets to move the vehicle. But here with the XL7 hybrid, the ISG won't be able to move the vehicle. But on extended stops, the ISG works. It's not just a simple start-stop system like in other vehicles that are currently in the market today. So for example, you're stopped by a minute in traffic and you just leave it and drive. The ISG will gladly take over in powering things such as the air conditioning, the lights. It takes over from the engine, so you don't sip fuel at all. Now, in terms of fuel economy, here in the city, well, you have to, set your expectations, especially when Suzuki calls this one as the XL7 hybrid. So when you're at the city, I've been averaging around 9.1 kilometers per liter at an 18 kilometer per hour average. So that's basically, pretty much similar to what other 1.5 liter 7-seater MPVs actually consume based on our previous tests with other vehicles. So there's not much of a difference. In the highway, it also has 18.5 kilometers per liter at 79 kilometers per hour average. So that's pretty much it for the XL7 hybrid in how it drives. Now let's head back to the warehouse, give our final verdict of this 7-seater MPV. Now, the XL7 still delivers what you want in a 7-seater MPV. It's comfortable, it's fuel efficient, spacious inside, and it has plenty of seats for your family. But between the time it was first launched in 2020 compared to 2024, a lot of the competition has caught up, offering better features and better specs. And that's where we believe Suzuki can do more in terms of packaging the XL7. But for its price of 1,262,000 for this two-tone variant, the Suzuki XL7 promises great value for money. And on top of that, the XL7 is a proven platform as well. You don't really hear a lot of recalls globally and even in the local setting with the XL7 and the Suzuki brand overall. So tell us what you think of the XL7 on the comment section down below. This is Jamil of AutoIndustriya.com. Thank you for watching.